Hello, dear eYOUAca students, and welcome to the lesson 3.2, where we will talk about communication and event management tools. My name is Daria Sharafan, and I will walk you through the main features of some tools that could be useful for you, as well as I will show you how these tools can be implemented for the event management in the best possible manner. Just that you know who I am, I will take some time to briefly introduce my background. So I'm Ukrainian, but I live in Austria for quite some time now. Since I moved here, I had the chance to join the CSAT, the International Workers and Amateurs in Sports Confederation, as an intern to support them in their major sports event, CSAT World Sports Games, and now worked my way up to the position of communication officer in CSAT for its events and also for the EU co-funded project CSAT is involved in. As of now, I am a Master of Science in Management and Master of Arts in Business Consultancy. And in the meantime, I happen to obtain some working experience in different local companies in Austria, as well as some bigger groups. Surely, in my studying and my working path, I had to find ways of organizing myself with my tasks, as a communication officer, I cannot underestimate the proper communication and content interchange, especially when we talk about a big group of people working on the same project. Here, of course, digital tools really came in handy for me when it comes to major sports events like CSAT World Sports Games, for instance. This scope of work gains a much, much bigger scale and thus needs more efficiency and even more accuracy, right? You already had the chance to learn how to organize an event with Anu in the previous lesson, and I will now show you how you guys can use the digital tools that are out there in the most efficient way for the communication during the event organization and also specifically for the event management. Let's just go briefly through our lesson outline. I'm going to start off from the basic tools for sports management and their purposes, business tools like MS Office and Google, then meeting tools, MS Teams, Google Meets, and Zoom, then some planning tools that you could use and some calendars that you could implement. And I'm also going to talk about project management tools. I'm going to introduce you to Asana, Trello, and Slack, as well as we'll dig deeper into Trello, into its functionality, and also best practices to use. But first things first, why are these digital tools important at all, right? Yeah, it's much easier and cheaper to save, store, and also retrieve necessary information once you need it. So you just don't sit around piles of papers, as on this picture, no longer knowing where is what and where you can find which information. Secondly, it's also possible to see the project to-dos and also upcoming deadlines at one side, so you know where you stand and where your teams are standing, so you can maybe even support them with some of the tasks if this is necessary. Yeah, you can also fast exchange information and content within the team because, of course, it is crucial as we all know nothing goes as planned and there are always some unexpected issues that arise and they, of course, have to be solved ASAP. So this is why digital tools are really important because you can do everything really much quicker. And last but not least, there's just no better and faster way yet invented, right? So we got no choice, guys. Yeah, now I would like to kick off the tool presentation with something all of us already familiar with, maybe the business tools provided by Microsoft and Google. Yet, even though everything is quite straightforward once you know how to use them, these tools can be especially helpful also for the event management specifically in the following ways. So starting off with Word or Google Docs, these are the files with textual inputs, basically. You can use it for event description, with just assigning teams and their to-dos, as well as you can use it for team brainstorming once you have a meeting, so everybody can work and put their ideas on in the same place. Next, Excel or Google Sheets. These are, as we know, are the files with numeric inputs, You can use them for event budgets and also bookkeeping, but also you can use it to create a rough event management timeline with all the tasks and all the deadlines. Now, Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides, these are the files with the visual inputs. So we can use them to visualize our event timeline, for instance, that we created just now with Excel. And we can show it to our team in the initial kickoff meeting. And also we can visualize the updates on the tasks or just new tasks if necessary, and also show it to our team in the more visual way so it's easier to comprehend it. Next, Microsoft Outlook and Google Mail, or Gmail as we call it. This is clearly an email exchange tool, so we can quickly update our team members on the tasks and other inquiries that can arise, as well as we can take use of the CC function and update the entire team just using this button. Last, but definitely not least, in my opinion, one of the most important tools that is being used for event management is OneDrive and Google Drive, the file storage tool. Of course, you can organize all the files and the documents respectively to the tasks or in the other necessary manner that could work for your specific project. Also, you can share the files with the responsible team members, and it allows for the real-time editing, which means that three people can work on the same file without having having an issue of saving it or combining three different documents into one. Now we are moving on to the meeting tools, which are maybe the ones you'll be using the most from all business tools, as meetings, be it weekly, monthly, or daily stand-up meetings, are really an inseparable part of any project. Here are three most used tools for meetings, which are Microsoft Teams, Google Meets, and Zoom. Yeah, they have the following features. They allow multiple participants, yet please remember about the bandwidth and also your internet connections so you can assure the quality that everybody is seen, heard, and also understood. Moreover, anyone can join a meeting by just having the link, and Zoom additionally offers passwords just to avoid any unauthorized access to the meeting when it's something more undisclosed. Last but not least, you can record the meeting and come back to it later. It's really, really useful for creating meeting memos and also some meeting updates for those who could not join but really had to be there. Yes, normally not just one meeting takes time per day, but multiple. It requires proper planning where the online calendars really come in handy. Of course, it's a matter of taste or a matter of operation system or a matter of the meeting tool even that you're using. Because, for instance, Microsoft Teams offers an integrated calendar. Yet the pro tip for you, please guys, whenever you decide to use one calendar, stick to it, because you don't want to have different meetings in three different calendars, as it is just inefficient and it's really easy to overlook a meeting and then just having a lot of overlaps. Now, having learned how to organize your meeting, we're going to move on to the project management tools, which would help you organize the tasks and generally manage the workflow of your team. Yeah, every organization and every event organization is a project of its own, with involved teams, budgets, timelines, and of course, different deliverables and different deadlines. Whereas every project needs a project manager who will keep an overview of the upcoming tasks and also of the completed tasks, as well as assign the further responsibilities to the team. But now the question is how to avoid this situation and ease the life of the project manager. I think the answer was already given out many times during this lesson, is the tools. So what are the tools that we can use? I will start off with the visual boards for the project task management. There are many various tools existing in this respect, yet today we will focus our attention on only two of them, Trello and Asana, which even though have different user interfaces, they offer roughly the same set of features, which are visualization of all tasks on a dashboard, where you can see everything basically at one site. Then you can assign the task to team members or just teams generally and track the progress that they are making with it. Then you can set deadlines and using the calendar feature to see all of the upcoming deadlines and deliverables within the project. Moreover, it's uh, given an opportunity to ease our life and use automation rules. So we don't have to give the same task to the same people all over again. And last but not least, it's possible to integrate them with the other tools by getting the so-called power-ups from Teams, from Slack, Google Drive, Gmail, etc. I will tell you about one of these tools later today, and we will dive deeper into the features and let's say general how-to for this event management tool. In addition, as a communication manager by title, I cannot avoid telling you about the corporate communication tools. So basically the messaging programs used in a professional world. There are also quite a few of them, but today I will present Microsoft Teams, and which we already actually know from before, and also Slack, which is really similar to Teams when it comes to the messaging features. So the main basic features are instant messaging in private and in specific teams or channels. For instance, let's say it's marketing, it's finance, it's operations, it's event volunteers, etc. Then you can share files with those teams and also store them at the respective channels. You can take use of video conferencing in those tools, as well as you can take use of a calendar feature to plan calls, yet it is only available for Teams for now. And now, as promised, let's take a closer look at one of the visual dashboards, Trello, how it actually works and how it can be used for the event or project management setting. I'm going to show you how you can use it and how we can organize a Trello board for our sports event. So here is our Trello user interface. You have already received a task from me to create a Trello account and also join the eYOUAca workspace. So it's a kind reminder, if you haven't done so, please do, because we would need it for our further tasks. Yeah, so this is how Trello workspace looks like. You have your boards, you have your members, which in the case of eYOUAca workspace would be you guys. Then you have some settings, you have tables and calendar to see your upcoming deadlines. So you all also should have one untitled board already, but anyhow, you can add another one by just pressing a plus, just naming it, let's name it awesome event, as we are gonna do a board for an event. And let's choose this background if we want to. Yeah, so we create it. Cool. We have our board. Now let's add some lists to it. And normally what is offered by Trello by default is to do, then doing, and done. What I sometimes do is I also add a specific list called blocked, because sometimes you can't just proceed with the task because something is blocking you with it. So I'm just gonna add another list where you would indicate that you need some assistance with your task. And I'm gonna move it in front of the done. Okay, so this is our kind of skeleton for the board. Now we can start by creating to-dos. Let's add the card to our to-do list named, let's say book sports venues, right? We add a card. Now we have the first to-do, yet we have to give some more details to our team First of all, who is responsible? Second of all, what should be done in more, let's say in more detail, right? So let's press on book sports venues. We see that we can give a description for this task. So let's say, hi team, we need the following sports venues in Vienna for the 22nd of June. Save. Yeah. Now we can assign a member to our card who would be responsible for it. You just press on members and you will see eYOUAca Learning, and we can also show some other workspace members, which would be, in this case, only me, because you're not here yet, guys. Yeah, so let's assign this task to myself then. We just press on the person who we want to assign a task to, and then it would appear in here, and the respective person will also receive a notification that a task is being assigned to her or to him. But this is not the only way you can do it, because normally there is not only one person in the team who is working on specific tasks. So I'm going to show you another way how you can do it, and thus with the labels. You press on labels and you can name those labels respectively to the team who is involved in the event management. Let's name our green title finance. Then our yellow one, we press on this pencil, we can call it marketing, for example. We have orange one, let's call it sports program. And let's just make one more all. Okay, and now since we have a task to book sports venues, we can of course assign it to our sports program team. So we press on this tick, and the label appears on top. Of course, we have to also indicate what kind of venues we need. So for this respect, we can use our checklist, and we name it venues. We add it, and now let's say we need a football field, then a swimming hall, and a sports hall for volleyball, basketball, and mini football. Then we can also give, for example, a tennis court. Awesome. Now we have a task assigned to a sports team with a specific to-dos and specific checklist points that they have to make it to life. Yet we don't have a due date yet. We can also add a due date, a deadline for this task. So we click on dates. And let's say we need our venues until the end of the month. So you press on the 31st of March. We can also set reminders at the indicated times if we need it. We can also say none, and we save. Sometimes it's needed to add some attachments to the task as pictures, as documents, specific other files. So we can do it using the attachment. For this specific case, we don't have any, so we don't attach any. So then we close because we are done with our task. Now imagine that you are responsible for a sports program team and you see that you have a new to-do task assigned to your team. So you just move it to a doing list and you open it and you see, okay, I have these things to do until this time and this place. Okay, let's say I'm done with this, with this, with this, and with this. So I'm done with my task, right? I can tick it as it's done, complete, and I just move it to the list of done tasks. And this is pretty much how it works. Yeah, now I would like to show you the automation rules because it can make your life really so much easier, especially with assigning your team members. So let's create a rule. Let's just move our task back to where it was and delete the assignment to a team.
and let's say it's not complete yet. So our task is still blank. Now let's create an automation rule. Yeah, let's create a rule. Yep, create a rule. Then we have to add a trigger. You have all different kinds of possible triggers, which have to do with car moving, changes, adding or deleting due dates, checklists, content, you name it. You can then take a closer look in it. In our case, what we want to do is that when the sports program label is added to a card by anyone, then whenever we are done with the indicating what we need, we have to press this plus. So it adds it to our rule. So when the orange sports program label is added to a card by anyone, and then we have to select which action should be done. We would like to say that if a sports program label is added to a card, we would like to inform the team lead about it, right? So the lead knows how to or whom to assign this task further. Here we press on members and we say add member, let's say me, as I am a team lead. Let's say add member Daria to the card. And we again press on plus. And we have a rule when the orange sports program label is added to a card by anyone, we are going to add Daria to the card because she is a team lead of sports program. Then we press on save. And yay, we have the first rule. Now let's create another rule, which would mean if a card is moved to the list named blocked, yes, we would like to inform our project manager about it, that we have a problem with one of our tasks. Therefore, we need some assistance. So we again assign a member. Here, it's not me anymore. Let's say eYOUAca module would be our project manager. So whenever a card is moved to list blocked, we would like to inform our project manager about it. So we add a member eYOUAca to the card. And then we press on save again. And here is our rules. Yep. Now we can close this window and let's come back to our board. Now let's see how our automation rules actually work. Let's press on book sports venues and add the label sports program. And then we see that my name or the name of a team lead appeared as a member. So the team lead would be informed about the new task. But now let's imagine that we have booked a sports field, we have booked a swimming hall, a sports hall, but we have some problem with booking a tennis court. So we have to move it to a blocked list. And now we can see that our team lead appeared in the list as well, our project manager. So our project manager would be then informed that we have a problem, therefore we need assistance with one of the checkpoints of our task. Yeah, so this is pretty much it to how it works. Right now, I would like to show you some more tools, yet with already organized Trello board, which looks like this. Yeah, so here we have, again, the same lists as to do, pending, or doing. Then we have blocked, and we also have done. Also in here, we have the list named questions for the next meeting, because, for instance, if you are working on some task and you have a question which needs to be answered, you can write it as a task and assign to a specific team who you want to ask it from. And here you can also give a monthly meeting link for everybody so they can have it and they can join it right away. Also, what I would like to show you here are the filters. Let's say you're working for a marketing team and you don't want to see every other task than the one that is assigned to you or to all. So we can filter it by, let's say, if you're working for marketing, you can filter it by marketing and by all. So you can only see the tasks that are assigned to you or to your team. Moreover, you can filter it by cards assigned to you, which in this case are none for eYOUAca, if you're a project manager, you can also see how the due dates are working out. So if you have some overdue tasks, which in this case are our block tasks, that it's really far overdue already now. And also you can see the tasks that are close to being due, which in this case only the monthly meeting, because our team had done a really, really good job. Yeah, so this is pretty much how it looks like. And I'm going to come back to this board again for our case study session. And I'm going to explain you the task that you should be doing for our homework. And on this note, I would like to thank you very much for your attention, for all of your interest in our digital tools. And I would like to tell you that please, if you have any questions, if you need some clarifications, feel free to contact me with your questions via the platform. Thank you very much again, and I wish you a really, really nice and productive day with your studying.